Hey guys, it is the Nerdy Movie Guy, so I'm here to review another horror movie, As Above, So Below. So every horror fan has that one movie that creeps them out more than any other movie. For me, this is it. For now, I plan on watching more horror movies, but this is it for now. This was extremely unsettling, was creepy, some horrifying images, very, very intense all the way through. And if you haven't seen this and you want to watch it, would recommend not doing what I did. Do not watch it on your own in the dark, middle of the night. I just wouldn't. But I did, so that's why this is now the creepiest movie to me personally. So as you can see, there's just some great images on the back. It just gives you a little taste from what this movie has to offer. And so this basically has a handful of characters who sort of go into these catacombs in Paris. And so this girl, she's looking for the Rosetta Stone. And the hand group of characters we have, they don't really believe in the myths or the urban legends or really anything about this. But there is some interesting stuff in here because not only is it creepy and all the way through, I don't know if it's a plot hole or not. There are a couple points in this movie where something happens that I thought was gonna matter later on, but didn't. So as our group of characters enter the cave, these catacombs, not long after they've entered, there's different people there. Some camp out, some try to live there, some have this strange ceremony. And there's this woman at sort of this club that's sort of walking outside, and it's very creepy. She's just staring at them. She is also in the catacombs with this group of people, and they're chanting. And it's the same woman that shows up later in the movie as well for something else that happens, ends up causing the death of one of our beloved characters here. And I thought she was going to show up again, but shows up 3 times. And so this movie, not only is it sort of mind-bending as well, because as they're entering these catacombs, I would say for the first 45 minutes, there's all these different patterns and these puzzles and these different cameras that they're having to sort of traverse through. And with the namesake, with everything, when they get past their first trials is sort of what I'm going to call it. Everything is happening again, even though they didn't turn around. There's just a bunch of the same thing. And so it just goes great with this movie poster because the movie poster sort of kind of explains how things are in the movie. So, absolutely a creepy one. I was scared out of my mind watching this. Like I said, I was watching it in the middle of the night on my own in the dark. Just a perfect little horror setting. So I just got my snack and a drink so I can watch this creepy movie in the middle of the night. I don't know why I did that, but I did, and it was a fun experience. And I'll always have the memory of being creeped out the most by my own decision. So anyway, I liked it. This is sort of this found footage style, which adds to the intrigue and mystery behind everything going on in this movie. Found footage films are becoming one of my favorite genres because it's one of those that if you think about it or you see a preview for found footage film, every found footage film that I've encountered looks boring until you actually see it, and then you're just fully invested. Found footage movies somehow, the two I've seen, I want to watch a lot more. I've seen Cloverfield in this one. They both start out sort of getting you invested into the characters before sort of the plot starts to unravel and things start happening throughout the plot. So the two movies I've seen have done a phenomenal job helping the audience connect with the characters. And there's usually some trial or tribulation that's happened to these characters' lives that give you something to connect with personally. So that's something really cool. It was the same way in this movie too. So that's something else I appreciated about this. in this movie, they're looking for the Rosetta Stone. They're traveling through these catacombs, and they're fearing that the urban legend is they are approaching the literal gate of hell. And so there's all sorts of wacky stuff going on. These demonic, monster, demon-looking figures and characters, and it's just one of the most unsettling visuals that I've ever seen. And there's a lot of, just sort of standard stuff. There's probably some instances in this movie that people who are numb to the creep factor in horror movies probably just completely unbothered, whereas I was. So there's just very, very neat stuff in here. I don't know. I didn't do the research to know what the budget for the movie is. I can imagine the sets were really easy to make, if they were indeed sets. And the props and the monster designs for this movie were sort of almost like classic horror movies. And what I mean by that is it's simple, but it's simple enough to get the point across with what the creatures are trying to be or trying to do. It doesn't look like something, it doesn't look like this high budget CGI horror movie or something. It just looks great. I love the practical effects in this movie as well. So overall, even though I was scared out of my wits, I would still give this movie, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I was very surprised by it. And I was fully invested, not only in the characters, but the story. And I was invested in wanting to see as many characters as possible survive. So, overall, this was extremely enjoyable. Creepy movie, but very enjoyable. Need a good horror flick. Tread carefully with this one. Alright, keep it digging.